As more media layoffs ring in the new year, Americans face prospect of news desert. This is deeply concerning, folks.
No.
Let's see what this is. The media industry is grappling with an alarming surge in newsroom layoffs during the holiday season, further exacerbated.
Great word.
Say the word.
Exacerbated.
Exacerbated.
Isn't that what that too,
Exacerbate?
Emily?
No, you didn't get it right.
Yes, I did.
Emily, you've been writing a lot of stuff today. You failed this
She added
test,
a
baby
D
girl.
there, exasperated.
Oh,
And
God.
your
what
mark
Jeffrey
of
Chubin
job
did?
cuts. Prominent outlets such as Condé Nast, Geo Media, Vice Media, and Vox Media have recently downsized their staff, contributing to a 48% increase in journalism job cuts in 2023 compared to previous years. The decline in media jobs is attributed to the crumbling advertising revenue model and the increasing reliance on artificial intelligence for content creation. Experts emphasize the urgency for public and governmental support to sustain journalism and prevent the emergence of widespread news deserts. Victor.
Yeah. Fun fact, PBD. Desserts have 2 S's because it's so good.
Yeah.
Deserts 1 S.
Listen.
Because nobody wants to live in the desert.
You teaching me English. Admit.
For
Victor
years, I've
Picard.
been trying to do this for you,
Hey,
PBD.
people are listening to this. You're distracting the shit out of me. But Victor Picard, a media policy professor, expects legislative efforts to strengthen local journalism, especially at the state government level. Tom, thoughts on the story?
First of all, it's the decline in ad revenue and AI is hurting us. We need the government to help. Look at the underlying statement here. Why is there a decline in ad revenue? People aren't reading or buying what you're publishing, and so there's less demand for it. The other part of this is kind of about AI. About a week ago, Ross Levinson, who was the publisher of Sports Illustrated, was relieved of his position as part of an acquisition, but he was also relieved of his position because Sports Illustrated apparently, and I know Ross, wherever you are, Ross, I hope you're doing well in the next chapter.
He's got good hair, though. Is that the guy?
Yeah,
I had no clue. I love Ross.
What a great hair for you.
Ross is a good guy. I remember him from the early mobile wars, and he was with Fox, and he was a good ally in the early mobile wars in Los Angeles. I was rather, as a colleague, I had a high opinion of him. But something happened here where they created these AI-generated reporters with fake bios, posted it as the writer of the story, and used AI to write the stories. Now, to me, that sounds like a cost-saving measure where you're just trying to create. Now, was creating a fake reporter, how much did Ross know? Who knows? I'm not to debate that. But this is an example where they were trying to use AI to save money and write the stories. But what happened was, somebody, oh my gosh, Adam is suddenly breakdancing in the middle of the studio.
He's doing a low crawl.
So let's,
I had that in me, baby.
Anyway. So what's
back to more of those deserts.
And there's also an underlying thing here. So number one, they fire Ross, part of an M&A thing, and because they say there were AI reporters that were writing stories, so it wasn't real and it was deceiving the subscribers. Okay, fine, but they were trying to save money and using it. But the real issue here, why does ad revenue decline? You don't have enough people watching it so that you can charge Kraft to advertise the macaroni and cheese. That's it. It's very simple economics. Kraft says, you get a whole bunch of moms on there and kids there, then I'm going to be advertising my mac and cheese on you. Trust me. And if it makes my mac and cheese sell more, I'm going to buy even more ads. That's not the problem. The problem is places like X, where a huge percent of people said that they were using X as a news scrape or as news in the morning. Yeah. And guess what? People are getting news off social media, off news feeds, off independent newsletters, and increasingly they don't go to their local newspaper or to their favorite thing. I enjoy Business Insider. This is not a plug, but it's Business Insider now, not Insider. You want to know why? Because even they were having a hard time getting subscribers on Insider, so they've laid off a bunch of people, right-sized the organization. They went back and they called it Business Insider, heading for the niche with a smaller group. It's happening everywhere, and there's a whole lot of it that is due to social media giving the stories immediately and pretty compelling way. So I don't wait till tomorrow to see it from the LA Times or Sports Illustrated.
I think you're so right that not the problem, but kind of the problem is the accessibility. I mean, I'm 22, and when I was deciding my career path in journalism, my agent, who I thought was crazy at the time, shout out to Wasserman, was like, why is your goal to work on X network. Like I was like, get me a local news job, then I'll grow up and up and up. And he's like, you're starting your own podcast. And I was like, are you crazy? No one's going to watch it. But I think the problem, quote unquote, is that like I could become just avidly tweeting on X and I could grow my following. And guess what? I have my own audience, which means like then I'll bring in a sponsor and grab my own revenue. But everyone could do the same thing. And then it's, by the way, I don't know any of those listed, any of those media companies. I probably have never even heard of them. Not because I'm ignorant. I don't know, I guess as a Gen Zer, I don't see that.
You also have an informed point of view on Israel and political things that people would find to be newsworthy, and they would trust it.
Right.
It would be their news on that topic.
Exactly. But I'm saying they would probably hear it from me and my podcast and my microphone, wherever that may be. It's not going to be like on your traditional medias. Because now you don't need to technically watch the news anymore to find out the news. Like, I'm always on the go. All you guys, and nobody's sitting here home all day. You're on X, you're on Instagram, you're on, maybe you have like some news app on your phone, and it's likely one channel, not like 3 or 4 that you're alternating between. So why would they not go out of business? Because social media is the future. My agent's been saying it for 5 years, and he's right. They're taking over. Who's going to sit home and watch TV all day? Anyone?
You guys are worried about what she did. She scare you a little bit? Is it
I'm a scary person.
The newsroom?
I co-sign her message.
No, she's right. And by the way, here's the other. By the way, you know, if a 52-year-old heard what she just said, they're so not happy with what she just said.
I know. By the way, I
them,
explained to a lot of older people why social media is relevant.
They are not happy about this because she's right.
Yeah.
And that's the direction it's going. And these teleprompter gangsters that are up there reading what somebody else wrote. We saw what happened when there was the strike with writers' strike and actors' strike, and what Jimmy Fallon, Kimmel, a lot of these guys couldn't do what they were doing because the writers couldn't write the jokes. And like, holy shit.
I'm not funny anymore.
Right? What do I do now, right? I can't entertain people anymore. The podcast game is a very different game. It's a very, very hard to do, and some of these guys are going to have to compete in that marketplace. And it's going to be catastrophic for many of them. Filtering process is here, and it's a beautiful thing. And we'll see who's going to survive, who's not going to survive.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.